SLVO looks incredible on the surface. Double-digit yield, monthly income, exposure to silver. But here's the question nobody asks. What did it actually do to your portfolio? Not the payout, not the marketing, the real total return. So I ran the backtest, bull markets, flat markets, reinvestment on, reinvestment off, because sometimes high income works exactly how you hope, and sometimes it doesn't. Let's see what SLVO actually did. So stay tuned. Welcome back to Simply Money. Silver and gold right now is the big thing. It has been skyrocketing, and if you had just bought into it, you're probably doing really well. But I want to caution you. I want you to look at this long term and see what the outcome is. Is it all that it's cut out to be? Let's find out. Let's look at the chart. For those who are new, thank you for joining us here in Simply Money. What we do is we take our hypothetical portfolio. If I took my full income portion and I had put it into this fund, and these are requests by subscribers, so these are the funds that you guys have asked for, and SLVO is one that's had a lot of comments of late because of the rush on gold and silver. With $525,000 as of June 1, 2013. Now, yes, gold and silver has been around longer than that, but this ETF tracking it, that's what we're looking at the start date, a $386.64 price, paying monthly distributions and very high yields with that. We're going to see how it has performed. You would have gotten 1,358 shares. What we do with this, and remember, this is not financial advice. This is for information and educational purposes only. Please do your own due diligence and know that I don't recommend going all in on SLVO or any fund. I'm not recommending what to buy or sell. I'm just sharing the back testing data for you to make your own wise decisions. Everybody has different risk tolerances. Thank you to our subscribers who are here and all your support. Let's dive in here. SLVO, $386.64. We're just going to fly through this one because there's a lot I want to cover, and there's some things I want to point out that are different than a lot of the funds we've done. If you like this type of thing on different funds, check out the playlist. We have a lot of funds we've done on this all-in scenario, the playlist on the channel. Just type in the search bar all-in, and it'll show you the playlist. You can go to the playlist there. We have several of them. This is the all-in playlist where we show all these different funds. Coming down, the stock price, the share price on this, as you can see, 378. It just started dropping and dropping and dropping. And a few times it bounced back up a little bit, but we're just going to keep going down here. A lot of years, about 13 years, 12 years we're looking at here. It continued just dropping and dropping. And that's not because silver's dropping. It's because this is an ETF that's paying a yield off covered calls that it's doing against these funds. And so you're looking at this, and it didn't start doing well until recently. Silver has gone up, so they're getting better premiums and beginning to sell more, and as well as the share price going up as we got to these lows in the $70 range. Now it's climbed back up reached $100 and back down to $90. But from inception that we're looking at here, you're looking at a negative 76% return. I would be very cautious with this type of fund. This is my opinion for whatever it's worth. I'm not opposed to gold and silver. In fact, I own physical gold and silver. I keep it on hand. I've held that for many, many years. Didn't buy a ton, bought some years ago when it had dipped pretty good back then and just held it. And it's more of a hedge and a apocalyptic fund that I have stuffed away somewhere, and not a lot of money, but enough that it's just there. It's not for growth. It's not for anything. It's just there doing its thing. Why I have it. Now, you may have it for a different reason. You're going to see some fascinating things here in a minute, though. I want you to look at these. Distributions are, if you're looking for something for distributions that are nice and even, and I want to live off of this is not the fund. I want you to look at this distribution amount. $3 here, $3.60, $4.90, $6.60, doing great. But then it goes down to $3, $2. Look at this, gets down to $1 here. We're just going to keep bouncing around, back up to $5, and gets down to 45 cents in 2017. 77 cents, 61 cents. But let's just scroll down some further, down here to 43 cents and 30 cents. You go down a little further, you can see it starts, oh, well, here we got almost a $5. Then it goes back down 60 cents. Scroll down further, we're at 2022, we're at 68 cents, $1.70. The amounts that you're getting are just so off the wall, fluctuating. This is not a consistent fund. Not saying it doesn't have a purpose. I'm not saying it's not a good fund. I'm just saying if you want consistency, this probably isn't the one for you. But let's look at what's happened of late, that it's really going crazy with all the hype on gold and silver. And now you got back up here at the end of 2025, $1.50, $1.25, $1.17, $2.91. January, $2.68. Look at February, $5.78. Scroll up here. If you're looking at full drip, where we're just taking the money that we get and we're buying more shares, you see that you get $3.60. You get a $5,000 distribution. But you can't live on this type of thing. Again, you're reinvesting this, but here it got up to $13,000 for the month. Then you're down to $1,600. Then you're up to $7,000. Just look at the fluctuation that this, and this is as it's growing and you're adding more shares, you're dripping this, then you get up to 11,000. I want to scroll back down here. You may have peeked at this when we were looking at the distribution amount. Now look at 2020 again, 12,000, 10,000, but it drops down to 5,000, 8,000, then back up to 16 and 12, back down to 8. Oh, here we're down in 2021, we're down to 2,000. And then we're back up 2022, we get up to 12,000. But check this out as we come down 2023, 11,000, 11,000, drops down to 1,798 in 2023. But look at 2025. Let's go through 2025. 6,000, 5,000, 7,000, 9,000, 15,000, 16,000, 10,000, 8,000. Check this out. We just keep going up. 25,000, 24,000, $53,000 payment for February. Because you've been taking this and redistributing it and buying more shares, you have gained 8,451 shares. They have paid you $952,000 in distributions. Now again, that's holding it all that time. And look what happened to your portfolio balance. This is total drip. You're not taking any of that cash. You started out with $525,000, and look, you're in the red, and you stay in the red for a long, long time with full drip. We're not talking taking the cash. We're talking full drip. We'll look at taking the cash here in a minute and see what you would have had to ride through. Look at that. In 2021, you hit your first green. You barely got back to your balance. If you were holding this and totally dripping, after 8 years, you would be, I think, freaking out like this is a waste of time. It has not done anything for me. Remember, if you're investing, you definitely want to keep long-term in mind because, again, you got up to the green finally, but it drops back down. You're down into the 300,000 range again. And then it's not until 2024 you hit green again a couple times. It dipped, but then you hit the green. And because of these distributions and some slight growth, you have grown again. This is over 13 years, 12 years. You've only gained $359,000. I mean, it's okay. I wouldn't complain, but it's a lot of holding and a lot of panicking to gain that amount. And that's not a ton of growth over that amount of time. Now with the 50% drip and the 0 drip, we're just going to look through these together. You can see the amounts. Again, they're just fluctuating all over the place. With the 50% drip, you're getting some shares added. You're taking, this is the amount you take and you get more shares. And then you also get this amount for income. So let's just look from 2013 down to 2025, the beginning of 2026. A long time here. You've got $145,000 in cash and you've reinvested it, but you're down $194,000 in your portfolio. I wouldn't be real happy with that after that amount of time. That's not a huge income that you're breaking that up into all those years. You're looking at like $12,000, $13,000, somewhere in there that you would have received per year. And you lost $194,000, and you could have just taken that $12,000 from your principal and pretty much done the same thing. I'm not real happy with silver, or I shouldn't say silver, but with SLVO as an investment fund. Maybe it's going to turn around. I don't know. Everybody's all hype. But remember what Warren Buffett said, when others are greedy, be fearful. And right now, everybody is greedy on gold and silver. So for me, I'm being very fearful with gold and silver. And he said, when everyone else is fearful, be greedy. And back when I bought gold and silver, everybody was getting a little panicky with it and the price was dropping and they were getting out of it. And that's when I bought into mine. And my physical gold and silver has actually done very well, especially of late. I'm not getting income from it. It's just sitting there. And it wasn't an income investment. I share my income portfolio, and that's what that's going to be for when I retire, is income. I have my growth portfolio, which is just sitting there. It's just growing. And I add a little bit to it here and there, but it's in its growth and it's just sitting. I leave it alone. I forget about it, and it's growing and doing great. And it's had some major drops and it's always rebounded and gone back up. Physical gold and silver for me was just a buy and hold, and it's there. I actually hope I never need it. I hope one day after I'm gone, my kids will come into the house. They'll be going through everything and be like, oh, wow, mom and dad actually had some gold and silver sitting here. And they'll pull it out and be like, oh, this is fantastic. And then they can go and spend it or do what they want with it. And hopefully they'll make wise decisions financially. But that's for another day, another video. With no drip, we're taking this amount. We're not adding more shares. So we still have the 1,358 shares. You can see your distributions. You get, this month you get almost $4,600. Then you get $831. Very difficult to use this as income for living. If you want to use it to feed something else, maybe redeploy it. Look at it. Now you're down to $600. Imagine these 3 months if you were trying to live on this $600, $600, $600. This is some pretty lean times you're going through here. We'll come down to the end where things have really gotten good lately and everybody's all hype and everyone's greedy and everyone thinks gold and silver is the most amazing thing ever. Yeah, fine. You're doing it $1,700, $1,600, $4,000. And this month, wow, I got $7,800. But over the course of these 13 years, whatever it is, you get $243,000. It's nothing to complain about, but look over here. Your portfolio is down $402,000. You've lost money. You haven't been getting any gains on this. You haven't received gains. Look at our total return. With the full drip, yes, you've gained 68%. Not phenomenal. I mean, over the course of that time, that's about 5.5% per year. A good CD, good savings, money market. Lots of funds have done that in a very safe market. And look at the fluctuation you went through with this. As you can probably tell by a lot of what I'm saying is I'm not a big fan of this fund. And I'm just showing you the data for you to make your own decisions. If you're into it, please share below. Am I missing something? Is there something you're like, oh, dude, you're missing. You didn't see this or you don't know what's going to happen. Share in the community below. Let's dialogue about it. But for me, I wouldn't be getting into this fund. This is not a fund that I'm looking at, especially right now that it's actually peaking. This isn't the time to buy. If you were going to buy, it would have been back here when it hit its rock bottom and then say, okay, I'm going to get a little bit and I'll go in and sure, you get some gains from that. But look at your 50% drip. Your total return is negative 9%. You have lost money. And if you took the income, you're still at a negative 30% total return because you take your total loss. And yes, you got $243,000, but that means you're down $159,000. That's a 30% loss over that time frame. So not dripping at all, or even dripping 50%, you are down with this fund. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Please share that in the comments below. Let's look at our calculators here. With this, we like to change this. If you like these sheets and you want to play with this SLVO sheet, you can get a copy in the Buy Me a Coffee link down below. You can change the date, and then you can change the amount you invest. And here you can change the amount you drip. I put 75% just to see what would happen. With 75%, we come down. You can see you are still in the red. You finally got to the positive. So after holding for all these years, if you drip 75%, you would have received $80,000 over the course of all those years, and your portfolio balance would pretty much be the same, slightly up. So again, not a lot of options with that to generate income to maintain your portfolio. Sure, you've received $80,000, but that's over a long time. It's not a lot of income per month. With this column, we can actually, this calculator, we can put in an amount. So let's say I need $3,000 a month. That's how much I'm going to put here. The rest is going to reinvest. I get $3,000 a month every month, month over month for all these years. And, here, not too bad. We're actually in the positive at the end. So this one is a way to play with this and say, okay, we could make something happen with this where I'm generating some income and I'm reinvesting this amount, but you have to go through this long stretch of red where you got down to in the low $200,000 range. Your portfolio is dropping, and then it just, again, recently started climbing out. So what's going to happen long term? Is it going to go back down? No, a lot of people are very bullish on gold and silver right now. That's going to skyrocket. I don't know. Maybe it will. Leave your comments below. What do you think? Are you bullish on gold and silver? Do you like SLVO as a fund? Let us know in the comments below. But this is the SLVO all-in scenario. Leave me your thoughts. Thank you for joining us on Simply Money. Hit that like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time.